Hello everyone, this is Ala. So in this tutorial I'll show you how to install Windows Server 2012 R2 on a VMware vSphere ESX 6.5. So I have it on a virtual lab actually at home. So I installed it as a nested virtualization on VMware Workstation. So here I will launch my VMware vSphere server. It should launch up soon. Here it is, so it will take some time to come up. It should come up soon, so I'm waiting for it. Just a quick review on the features and the features of my server. I gave it 8 GB of RAM and two Intel Core by 4 virtual cores, which gives a total of 8 virtual cores. Okay, please come up soon. Okay, we're close. Okay, here we go. Here it is. So here it shows how to manage the server. The server itself, it's just this interface. It's not a real graphical interface. The graphical interface to manage the server, it's accessible via HTTP, via web browser. Sorry. So I can manage it by 2 different ways, either by entering the host name or entering the IP address. So in this case, I have given to my server a static IP address within the range of my private addressing at home. So let's go. I will open Mozilla browser and I will type the address https 192.168.0.215. Enter. Great. So here's the interface of our web server, of our VMware server, sorry. Okay, here's the login page. So we'll log in with the username that I have created and given admin access, full admin access to the server. Don't save. Error, that's not expecting the client may continue working, but at this point you can refresh in your browser and submit a bug report. Okay, I will load, no problem. I don't know why, for some reason it's taking a little time. So probably the best thing to do, I refresh the server. Okay, VMware. Then, okay, I'll log in again. Okay, now I think we should get it fine. Okay, so here's the main menu, or the main page of the vSphere management page. Actually, as you can see here, get vCenter server. This is in case we have many ESX servers. In my case, it's not the case. This is a way how to create or register VM. There's another way I'll show you soon. This is to shut down the server, to reboot, and other actions. Those are the features of my server again. Okay, we go here to virtual machines, or I'll do it from here. I'm gonna create or register virtual machine. So the wizard should appear. I have three options: create new virtual machine, deploy a virtual machine from an OVF or OVA file, register an existing virtual machine. So I'm gonna choose the first one. Go ahead with create new virtual machine. Name, I would name it probably Win SRV 2012 R2, for example. Here I choose the compatibility. So since I have only one ESX server, which is version 6.5, I'll leave it as it is. Guest OS family. Strange. What's wrong with it? I hit back. I try again. Okay, here it is. So as you can see here, Windows. It's a Windows family and Windows Server. Well, 64-bit. This is the most recent one that we have here. Okay, and I hit next. Data storage, this is my hard drive. This is how much I have it. Capacity is 192 gigabytes. Free space is 180, so I have enough space. Next. Okay, here I'll customize the settings. The option for CPU gives you the chance to select how many CPU cores you want. In my case, there are 8 in total, so I'm going to give only 4 to this virtual machine. The memory, when I selected Windows Server in the OS family, actually, so it's calculated that the necessary RAM is 4 gigabytes. I will leave it. The OS disk, I'll give it a little more, probably 80. SATA controller, so all these I will leave them unchanged. The VM network, this is the one I have. There's only one thing I want to do in the VM options, in the boot options. So force BIOS setup. So the first time that my virtual machine will launch, it will go directly to the BIOS setup. I will need that actually to set the boot order so that we can boot it from the ISO rather than a flash stick. And I think we're good to go. I will hit finish. So now, if you realized before I had only 2 virtual machines under virtual machines. Now I have 3. Okay, this is the one I just created, the last one. I'm gonna select it. Okay, then I can click here to run it. launch here, but I have another option to launch it on a remote console. We can choose which console. We can download the VMRC, but in my case I will launch a remote console actually, which is by default my VMware workstation console. It's a bit slow. It's resource consuming actually, so that's why it's taking a little time. So once it launches as a remote virtual machine on VMware Workstation, the same preview, I push it a little bit here, so as you can see, the same preview you see here, we see it here. So I will make the screen bigger. I will maximize the screen for my VMware Workstation, which is taking a little time. That's fine. I know it's consuming a lot of resources. Okay, here we are in the boot sequence. So first I will make it boot from CD-ROM, and then next in the order is hard drive. So exit, then I click exit and save changes. Yes, save the configuration. Yes. And here I had one thing I forgot to do. Is to select the ISO. So I go to VM, Power, Removable Devices, CD Drive, then Settings. Here we have the option to select Remote Server, select an ISO, but in our case I will choose a local client to be able to upload an ISO image from my computer. So this is the one I'm looking for. Save. I'm gonna reload because it didn't detect any ISO image, any image pre-installed on the hard drive, so it went to the last option in the boot sequence, which is the network boot. So I just reset my machine. It should restart soon. Or I can do Control-Alt-Delete. In VMware it's Control-Alt-Insert. Looks like it's taking a little time because it's consuming data and resources. Okay, here we go. The wizard started. So first I will try to install the Windows Server as a core edition only, which is the minimal interface, no graphical interface, nothing, and then I will convert it to a full GUI. It's taking a little time, so I will leave it for now until it finishes. Okay, here I will take the opportunity while it's loading files to go back to our server console shrink, or I can just do it like this. Still have it here. I can open it anytime. So in this, let's explore some options. Here is the storage that we have. This is the data. The data store is the hard drive or whatever you have, whether it's a hard drive, SSD, NAS storage, depending on what storage you have. This is where you choose all the available storage you have. In my case, I have a single one with a capacity of 192.5 gigabit. Okay, and let's go to the networking section. Here, as you can see, we have the network interfaces, or the virtual switch, which works as a relay between the virtual machine and the host, the physical machine. So it uses a virtual switch to provide connectivity from the guest to the virtual machines. Here, as you can see, virtual switches. We can add virtual switches rather than the default ones. Physical NIC, network interface cards, we have only one in my case. And those the kernel. Okay. Here the main menu, actually the host, which is our server. Here it shows some statistics of the usage, for the usage of CPU, memory, and storage. So let's see. Okay, we're almost there. So, okay, it should come up soon. It should come up soon. Here, if you realize, for the hardware section, it says manufacturer VMware ESXi. The reason for that is because I'm installing my VMware ESX server on VMware Workstation as a nested virtualization. If it was a real server, for example, a Dell, an HP, it should show up here the manufacturer's name, whether HP, whether Dell, whether Lenovo, whatever. Okay, so our server should start soon. The installation, the installation should start up soon. Okay. Take a little time because it's a bit hard to work actually to build a resource consumer lab like VMware ESX on an entertainment laptop, like a day-to-day laptop. It's not even a business laptop or with the powerful resources, powerful CPU capabilities. Yes, yet it has great features. It's an i7. It has the virtualization feature integrated, but still, it remains a laptop. Return back to our server. See what we have here. Okay, here's the host name. This one I have set it up when I was configuring my server after my VMware ESXi server after it got installed. The IP address, as I mentioned earlier, I have given static IP address. The DNS server, actually for the IPv4, I decided to give the public Google DNS server for IPv4. The IPv6 one, it was automatically selected from my ISP provider, my home router. The default gateway is for my home router. IPv6 enabled, no. I decided to disable IPv6 since I'm operating only on IPv4 for now. Okay, please come up soon. Okay. Go back to my virtual machines preview. And here again, we just select which one. And you should get the same preview as the one opened on a remote server. Okay, it should come up soon. Good. That's good. Okay. This setup will start. Here we choose the language. I have only the English for now. Next. Install now. Setup is starting. Okay, so it should come up soon. We will have the option to select what version of Windows Server we want to install. As I mentioned earlier, we will install it first as a core minimum interface, no graphical interface, and then I'll show you how to convert it to full GUI with Server Manager and the graphical interface and all the features. Okay, here we go. So I'll just expand it a little bit so that you can have an idea. As you can see, we have 4 options. First option, Windows Server 2012 R2 standard evaluation, server core installation, while this one is standard evaluation server with GUI. We have also the data center with both options, core and server with GUI. I'll go with the standard only, as it has the necessary features we need for our labs, and also it's not very resource consuming as compared to data center. Okay, we'll select core, then next. Okay, please come on, please come on. So the next step actually is just to install, whether it's an upgrade or clean install. It's a fresh install on our case. Actually, we're gonna use the whole space of the disk space, and the installation should take some time. So I'm gonna pause the video for now and see you after installation.